Escape the 9 to 5 grind and make money online. Yes, doesn't that sound scrumptious? So delicious, right? Listen, if you are ready to escape the cubicle, the corner office, and the C suite to become the CEO of your brand, your business, and your life, you are definitely in the right place. Don't you dare touch that channel. You want to stay right here. Keep it right here, dial it in, and do stay tuned, okay, for sure. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what it takes to make money online, okay, so that you can leave your 9 to 5 and finally leave that corporate life behind, okay? But before we get into it, and in case we hadn't met, hey there, Queen. So glad you're here, and thanks for stopping by. Listen, whether you're new to me or true to me, I appreciate you being here. Welcome to my channel. I'm your new favorite coach and your biz bestie, Katrina Marie, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader, okay? If you are a woman, high achieving woman, okay, dare I say, high achieving woman entrepreneur over 40, a woman of color or a woman of the LGBTQ plus community, and you are feeling the squeeze between success and satisfaction, you have found your sanctuary, okay? I am your new favorite coach and your biz bestie, Katrina Marie again, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader. I'm a holistic business coach and RN health and wellness educator, and I am here to resuscitate your life and your legacy. I do that one of 3 ways. I help you to heal internally so that you can expedite your external success. I help you to leave a corporate career that is no longer serving you. And I teach you how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. Okay. So if you are ready to design the life you dream of and desire and deserve and claim a life of peace, pleasure, power, and profits, do stay tuned and please do subscribe. Okay. Hit that subscribe button right now. And be sure to click the notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode whenever it is I go live and or when I drop a new episode. So again, stay tuned. All right. And again, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. By the way, be sure to stay until the end because I always have a little bonus or a little something that I am going to give you. Okay. And so you'll always want to stick around. In this case, I'm going to be providing you with a resource that's going to help you plan your escape in 7 simple steps. So you'll want to stay tuned until the end for that little tidbit of goodness. Okay. Now let's get into it. Let's first discuss the common stresses and strain of corporate life. Okay. Particularly for women of 40 and those in marginalized groups, right? Brown and Black women for sure. Okay. So if you are, again, a woman of color, a woman of 40, or in any of those categories that I listed earlier, then this is for you. Now, when working women in particular, in case you weren't aware, where right now they are facing, and stats show this, you can look this up yourself. Okay. Working women. Okay. And I mean, working in corporate and those also who's trying to balance work and life and a business, okay, are facing alarming rates of burnout, some of the highest levels of stress and burnout that we've ever seen, which may come as a surprise to you. I mean, right? I mean, you would think that because we have the opportunity now, especially post-pandemic, a lot of women, a lot of you are actually in a remote job now, right? You're working a virtual position. You are working from home. And it seems like that might even be a luxury, right? And I'm sure for if you're somebody who actually is working in a remote position, virtual position, work from home position, all of those interchangeable terms, I'm sure you thought it was going to be a walk in the park and it was going to feel so much better because who doesn't want to work from home these days, right? And so having gone through the pandemic, as disastrous as that was and as sad as that was because we lost so many people, so many loved ones were lost in the very beginning when we weren't sure what the heck was going on and what this disease was. And it ran rampant through our nation. But after and not to say my heart goes out to those who are still suffering the loss and grieving the loss of those they did lose within, that pandemic that we had in 2020. After that, because we're 4 years after that now, right? You would think that you would just feel so much better about having a position if you are in a position like this where you are working from home. Um, and that just isn't the case. In fact, employers, okay, a lot of corporations these days have gotten to a point where they are even heavier than ever before on monitoring metrics as well as micromanaging, right? So you find yourself actually, it's contrary to what everybody might believe until they actually work a position like this, right? And so research reveals that amongst the reasons women desperately want out of corporate America, and why you obviously want out of corporate America, right, has much to do with hostile and toxic work environments, harassment in the workplace, microaggressions for sure. Again, typically experienced by women of color, Black women, brown women, right? Heavy emphasis on that, and those who identify as LGBTQ plus. Also, there are limited opportunities in the workplace, the rigid rules, the inflexible schedules, the long work hours, right? And if you do actually work where you have to commute, then that is also very challenging, right? Because of depending on where you live, if you live in the city, for example, in a metropolitan area, in suburban neighborhood or what have you, you might have to commute a pretty fair distance, right? I mean, I remember having to commute 2 hours one way when I was commuting when I was in the workforce, one way. Okay, that didn't account for any meetings I had to attend, any trainings I had to facilitate, none of that. It was simply me getting up to go to work one way, and I had to make that same drive back, right? The same distance. That can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, not to mention your car, not to mention the inflation that we are experiencing right now with the high prices of gas, right? So that is just taking away from so much of your life, quality of life. So those are the main reasons why women, obviously there are other reasons, but those are some of the top reasons in the studies that were done that, women are wanting to leave corporate America. And so kind of like getting then into my own story a little bit, just to share, I know this to be true for myself. I know this firsthand, okay, because I was once you. I was in the workforce not that long ago and for a very long time. I worked in the corporate arena for 30 long years, okay? 25 years in healthcare, 20 plus years in leadership, and as a nurse, by the way, for 25 of those years as well. Listen, I was not in like one of those la-di-da, just sit back, kick back, and do nothing kind of positions, okay, and still get a paycheck. I had a very stressful role in a demanding corporate position. So I get what you're feeling right now, what you're going through. And in fact, the last few jobs that I had in corporate America, I worked, of course, as a nurse because I keep my license active. And I was in, let's see, the last three, I want to say three for sure, positions that I was in were all 100% virtual. Okay. And primarily in behavioral health. Okay. And so if you know anything about behavioral health, you're dealing with the mental, right? You yourself have to be mentally well to deal with people who are not mentally well. Okay. So I decided though, I was going to go into these virtual independent roles where I'm an independent contributor. I'm a leadership in my own right, but I didn't necessarily have any subordinates or direct reports that came to me, that reported to me directly, right? Didn't have any employees, in other words, that I needed to be dealing with, right? I just wanted to take a break from the traditional leadership role, right? And everything that typically comes with it, especially the level of stress and the quick burnout. I was like, I am just over it. I just need a break. And so that's what I did. And so I looked specifically for virtual positions in a lane that I was very specialized in, where I wanted to help people, something I was very passionate about, which is behavioral health, so that's a big part of my background is mental health and awareness. And so I took on these positions thinking that I was going to actually minimize the level of stress and burnout because I didn't have the traditional corporate, like leadership role. However, what I did find is that these positions in and of themselves came with their own set of stress and challenges that I was not prepared for. Okay. So yeah, I didn't have to deal with, the headache of having direct reports, but I was tied to a headset, okay, in a sedentary position, something I had been used to in a long time, being very sedentary. And in case you don't know, if you're not aware of this statistic, this is a true fact. Sitting is the new smoking, okay? So if you are sitting for the majority of the day without any physical movement, that is very, very hard on the body and not good for the body, okay? Your body can break down, and people are literally dying from sitting too long and having sedentary roles, especially if you don't have a lot of breaks in there, right? So I was in a very sedentary position. I sat for hours upon hours at a time working, anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12-hour days, just working for the one position that I was in, okay? Not to mention the sitting I was doing after the fact, right? To work on my business or anything else. And then in these positions, right, breaks are short. And in my case, my breaks were scheduled for me. That was completely new. And the very last position I had, breaks were scheduled for me. I did not like that because I was used to being in very independent roles where I had a lot of flexibility and autonomy. And this particular position did not allow me any real true flexibility at all. Okay. And so calls were very long and listened to, by the way. Screens were monitored and audited. That was very new to me. And then they had this feature you all might be familiar with. You might, if you're working in a position like this right now, where the calls are autoed in, like you don't have any control or say over when you accept the call. So you're just taking calls back to back to back to back to back without any breathing room, without a real break. You know what I mean? Unless you're constantly putting yourself on a break, and then that's looked down upon, right? Because why are you taking so many breaks? Are you really working? So you have that to deal with. And I personally, in my positions, I worked in a very stressful call center or Q environment is what it's really called. Same as a call center, but because you're working in a queue where the calls are just rotating through the first available nurse, it's a very stressful position when you're handling calls, like I said, that are back to back to back. Okay. For me, I'm handling, again, I'm in behavioral health at this time. So I'm handling very stressful calls, right? I'm triaging calls. I am handling crises. If somebody is feeling like they're a danger to themselves or somebody else, or they're gravely disabled, right? And they want to harm themselves or off somebody else. Is this just ideation, or do they have a plan and intent? Like I have to go, assess this call and make sure that this individual is not about to jump off of a bridge or slit their throat. And I'm sorry, I know that sounds graphic, but it does happen when you're dealing with somebody who is not mentally well. They're going to throw themselves in front of a car, some crazy, tragic, horrific thing. So I have to make sure that this is not somebody who is going to actually take action. Can you imagine? I'm sure you can imagine just listening to that. And this is what I'm hearing all day long. It's stressful. And then I'm facilitating trainings, and I'm doing some preceptorship from the newer nurses who are coming on board to learn this role. And then I'm dealing with discharges and transfers and getting cursed out sometimes from not just the patients, okay, but the staff as well, who are trying to admit the patients, which is just insane. So you're wondering, okay, who's really the patient here, you or the individual you're trying to get admitted or discharged or transferred to a facility, because you ain't got it all wrapped so tight either. You know what I mean? So these people are not mentally well. Then I'm doing case management and conducting utilization review and coaching non-compliant patients who we talk to all the time, but they're not doing what they're supposed to, right? To get themselves well. And then, not to mention, my performance is scored based on quantity of calls that I'm receiving, not so much the quality of work that I'm doing. So that was very bothersome, because why do we care more about how many calls I'm taking versus the quality of call that I'm given, and I'm actually saving lives on the phone? It just doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? And so then there are, in healthcare, if you work in healthcare, you're familiar with this. There are ongoing trainings, lots of tests you got to pass in healthcare, right? The standard trainings you got to go through with regard to safety, OSHA trainings, HIPAA compliance, all the things, right? Excessive meetings. And then we don't even have time by the time you finish with the meeting and, you have a moment of a moment to run to the bathroom and maybe take a couple sips of a drink and throw your food down your throat and hurry up and get back to the queue. Like, it is just insane, right? It's exhausting for me just saying it. Like, I actually lived through it and survived it, thank God. But I know what you're going through because I've gone through it. You know what I mean? So when you start to feel this stress and this burnout, and you yourself need to take a break, it does not help when you're in this position and you go ask for a simple request and a reasonable accommodation from the employer, right? And you want some time off, or you need to, take, just, some extra breaks in there. You need a mental moment, right? Here you are. And in my case, if you're in any kind of customer service or position or role where you are helping people, then you too need to be well mentally, right? You need to have the capacity yourself to deal with people. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, right? In all the ways. Self-care should be a number one priority when you yourself are taking care of other people. So when your employer makes it very complicated and nearly impossible for you to do that without challenging you, or you're all of a sudden a problem child, right? Or a problematic employee, or you're raising red flags, or you're not considered a team player now, or whatever all the crazy reasons they come up with, it can be extremely difficult to stay in a position like that, right? And going to look for another job in and of itself is a job, right? So that can add to more stress and strain to your already stressful your stress level and your level of feeling burnt out. You start to feel that disconnect and like, why should I even care? And I don't really even want to be here anymore. And what am I doing all of this for, right? All of these feelings and emotions come up for you because you're just over it already. You are ready to be done. Like, if I got to work this damn hard, I might as well go work for myself, because I'd rather do something that is going to allow me to make money online, virtually, right? Remotely. I can work from home, make great money, doing something I love, helping the people who actually deserve it, want it, and treat me well, because I am able to add that kind of value and bring my gifts to the world. So that's what we're going to be really getting into today. But I wanted to break that down first, because to me, anytime that I'm listening to somebody, I always want to know how relatable they are, right? Like, what have they really been through? Have they been through something similar like I have, any similar challenges or struggles, so that I know that I'm buying into someone who really understands the problem. They really get me. They know what I'm going through. So I always like to inject a story of my own, or a case study of one of my clients or something, where I can, like, share with you that I truly, truly, truly do understand. And I get where you are right now. And that's why I'm doing this video, is specifically for you, because I do want to help you leave corporate America for good. Okay. But we've got to make sure we do it right and transition using a seamless process to get there, right? Because the last thing we want to do is leave ourselves in a position that's going to be worse than the one we're in right now. Okay. And you don't want to get yourself in a position where you just make an impulsive decision and leave, unless you're in a really, really bad, like a toxic environment, and to a point where, or a hostile work environment where you are facing danger, right? Where you are in imminent danger and in harm's way, then we definitely want to get you out of there faster. In that case, I want you to jump on a call with me so we can talk about those particulars, because I don't want you in a position that you feel like is a danger to your life or your health in any way. Okay. But if you've got some time to walk through the process the right way so we can make a seamless transition, that's what we're really going to talk about today. How to get you out of your 9-to-5 grind and make money online, doing what you love and getting paid well. Okay. And not having to deal with all that crap anymore. So let me know if you're feeling me. Am I right, or am I right about this, right? Did I describe to the T what you're going through right now in these positions? Even if you're working on site, right? It's still something you're going through, but particularly those who are working online jobs, or rather, remote positions, virtual positions right now. Okay. So workplace burnout is very, very real. Okay. And the decision to leave is very personal. Okay. This has to be a personal choice you have to make. For me, I initially kept going back into the workforce because it was a familiar place, right? Familiar territory. I knew it well. I knew how to make money in that way. I didn't yet know really how to make money online. So I kept going back to what was familiar, what I knew I could do easily. And because I was in a nursing position, I mean, we make pretty good money, right? Now, it depends on what it is you're doing exactly, but we do have an opportunity to do lots of different things in nursing and make a lot of income doing it, right? And truth be told, I mean, I was dependent on a paycheck to maintain my livelihood. I had, I'm a high, was when I was working in corporate America, a high income earner, high six-figure earner. And so I didn't want to give that six-figure salary up. I didn't want to give the great benefits package and the compensation and the overall, all the perks and the bonuses. I didn't want to give that up. And I didn't want to give up the lifestyle it afforded me. Right. But that was before I knew that I was still, I was obviously, even though I was making great money, I was maxed out, right? I had already reached the highest end of the scale, the highest end of the pay scale. So the only thing I can really do after that was either go into a higher level position. Well, that's going to add more stress to what I was already doing in the first place, right? To make these six figures. And then on top of that, or I would have to just accept the bonuses and the perks that they were providing to me. So I don't like to feel maxed out or capped out or, having somebody tell me what my value is and this is all they're going to pay me, even though I'm adding more value to them, even though I'm a value in this position and an asset to the company. Do you know what I'm saying? So no, you don't get to tell me how much I'm going to make and when I'm going to make it. And if you're going to pay me a bonus or not based on how well the company does or not. No, it should be based on my performance. Okay. I should get paid based on my performance, regardless of how, obviously the company has to be doing well, but if it is doing well, then why am I getting the short end of the stick? So the thing is though, my health was taking a toll. Okay. My health was taking a toll and I knew I could no longer survive this slave mentality that a lot of these types of environments create. Many employers are creating a slave mentality. They have a slave mentality for their workers. I don't even care what the color of your skin is. They crack that whip and they have an iron fist. But particularly if you are in the marginalized group that we talked about earlier, a black or brown woman, this does typically happen to us more. It is what it is, okay? I'm not here to sugarcoat ish. I am telling the truth as we know it, okay? That is why, we can get into the whole discriminatory practices and all of that, but I'm not doing that today. I have another video on that if you want to watch it. But here's the deal. I'm not going to be anywhere where they're cracking the whip and having an iron fist on me. And then as soon as you don't do as they ask or exactly as they say, or you give them any pushback because you don't feel that how they're going about it, the way they're approaching it is right, then all of a sudden you become the problem, right? All of a sudden you become the problem. And now they want to do a performance improvement plan or a PIP on you. Well, we know that's the first step. That's the first action they take when they want to get to a place where they can kind of go through this so-called corrective action process leading up to termination. And if you don't dot your I's and cross your T's exactly as they want you to do it in the timely manner they want it done, you're out of there. You're SOL, right? It is a plan more times than not to terminate you. And now all of a sudden you've got a target on your back and they're watching you like a hawk. Nobody wants to work in an environment like that. I sure didn't. I know you don't. So I had to escape and run fast and furiously towards my future. Okay. And once I did, and I got a taste of freedom, honey, I did have to go back a few times in the beginning. I talked about that on my last video. But once I got a taste of true freedom and flexibility and fulfillment and the power I was able to reclaim and the peace I was able to experience and feel finally the bigger profits that I was finally able to make, honey, you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay, I am never going back. Okay, I know they say never, but as I know how to make money online now, I am not going back. Okay, so you've got to be the one to decide when enough is enough. Okay, you've got to be tired of being tired, exhausted from being exhausted, and you've got to consider what it is costing you to stay. See, that's not something we think about often. What is it costing you to stay? And when I say that, I'm talking about psychologically, physiologically, emotionally. What is it costing you to stay? That is a real question I'm asking you right now. And I want you to think about that for yourself. Because if it is costing and causing you your peace and sanity or your mental well being, if it is costing or causing you conflict with your core values or your personal boundaries, or sleepless nights and prolonged exhaustion, if it is costing or causing you dread in the pit of your belly or physical ailments in any other way, if it is costing or causing you unexplained weight gain or weight loss, alopecia, meaning your hair is thinning or falling out in patches, if oh God, if you are feeling, if it is costing or causing you tension and tightness in your muscles, and you're having this toxicity building up in your body, listen to me, sis. Listen to me. It is time. These are clear signs that it is time to go. It is time to leave quickly. Okay? Quickly. Now, let me know in the comments what your biggest challenge has been when considering leaving your 9 to 5. What is your biggest challenge right now? What has it been? What is it about, making a solid decision and leaving corporate America? Why haven't you made the decision yet? Answer me that right now in the comments, okay? I want to know. Because the feedback that I'm getting from the women I talk to and the ones I've worked with and the people I interact with, most times it's a common denominator. It's a common thread, right? And the reason that I'm often given is, well, I don't think I can afford to. Isn't that sad though? That we're basing it off of, I can't afford to do it, even though it's costing me everything that I just listed and then some. I actually recorded a video about this because I wanted to address this. I know this is a very real and valid concern. Okay, listen, I've been there. I understand. I'm not judging you. I am not coming from a place of judgment at all. I just need you to know that there are so many ways that you're missing out on making money. And that starts with monetizing you and your gifts, your God-given gifts. The same gifts and skill set and talents and knowledge that you have and that you're given to this job, to these employers, again and again and again and again. The video that I did to address this is titled Leaving Corporate Changed My Life Without Financial Distress. Leaving corporate changed my life without financial distress. Watch that video right after this one, okay? Because I need you to know that what you're experiencing, the fact that you keep saying, I can't afford it, that is rooted in fear. And I talk about that and I go deep in that video. So be sure to check that out immediately after this video, okay? We need to plan your exit strategy. We need to plan your exit so that you can start making money online. And guess what? You can start doing that right now while you have that job. And you need to start doing it right now while you have that job. But guess what? Here's the better news. We're going to do it the anti-hustle way, okay? Because I don't personally believe in the hustle. The hustle is a lie that you've been sold and that you bought into, because that's what you hear a lot about when you get into the online space. And I am telling you, trust me when I tell you, and hearing it firsthand from me. I've done it the hard way. I've done it the hustle way. And I wore that for a while like a badge of honor until it wore me out. Okay? Don't believe the hype. There is an easier way, a more excellent way to get to the bag, to secure the bag, and to live out your dream. And it ain't the hustle. I promise you. The hustle is killing women. And I don't mean figuratively only, I mean literally putting them in the hospital beds and killing them because of the level of stress and the significant burnout. Okay, this is like, I'm not playing around. This is an urgent matter. It's real. Okay, so the hustle is a lie. I don't believe that anybody needs to stress and struggle their way to success. So I am very proudly all about pro health and pro happiness and getting the right support from the right people at the right time. Okay, so you need a support system, right? And right now, you don't have that, which is why you think, because you're only around the same negative Nancys and the Debbie Downers and the bitter Bettys and the busy Barbaras and all the corporate bureaucracies and the negative office politics, all those things that corporate comes with, that's all you're around all day, majority of the day. So you think it's the only way, right? If you're not working hard, if for the money, if you're not doing all the things that's hard to get to your dream, then it can't be real. It can't be true. And I'm here to tell you that that's couldn't be further from the truth. You actually can make money the easy way. Okay. So I'm going to give you some actionable steps for you to transition out of the corporate life smoothly. Okay. Are you ready? You got a pen? You ready to write this down? Let's go. Step number 1. We're on the first step. I want you to take some time off. We just talked about everything you're going through right now. We just said you're stressed the hell out. You're burnt out. Take some time off. Go look at what you got on the books. If it's a week, if it's 2 weeks, if it's a couple, 3 weeks, if it's a month, take some time off. Even if you don't have a lot of time on the book right now, take some time off. You got savings, you got emergency cash cushion, stacked away. You got some money in your 401 retirement plan. You got some money, listen, I could tell you all the ways where you could pull some money from. You've got to be resourceful, right? You've got money from somewhere. Can you borrow it from somebody? If not, okay, I get it. But you got to have some money stashed away somewhere. Can you decrease some expenses so that you can still maintain your livelihood? Listen, all I'm saying is do what you got to do, what you got to do, what you got to do to make it happen. Okay. Take some time off, because what you're going to do in this time is create your plan. But you know what? When you're working on your exit strategy or your exit plan, you cannot do it when you are in the environment that is stressing you out. The very environment that is burning you out and causing you all this angst and pain and this anxiety and depression. Like, no. And they don't deserve that from you. You don't deserve that from them. So take some time off so that you have the mental capacity, because you will need the mental capacity to think creatively and strategically. Okay. So distance yourself away from that environment, because you are going to need that time and that space, and in a peaceful place where you can just breathe and think through what your next best move is, what your next best moves are, and hopefully to get in touch with the very person, a coach or someone, a mentor, who can actually help you get there quicker, faster, sooner. Okay? Because what we don't want to make happen is that, or what we don't want to happen is have you make haphazard decisions or impulsive decisions that you'll later regret, right? So use your PTO or find out how to take the time off, the very much needed, long overdue staycation, plancation, mini vacation. You need the time off. That's the first step. Second step, you're writing this down, right? Second step is identify a profitable business model that aligns with the problem you are solving for. Okay, so because I promise you this, hear me when I say, while it is good to be passionate about the thing that you are wanting to get paid doing, your passion does not get you paid. Your passion has to be connected to a profitable problem. So we need to create a profitable business model. Okay. Now, what does that look like? Well, I usually have my clients follow a high ticket, one to many business model. That is not to say you cannot work with one on one clients, but and there's pros and cons to that. Okay. And I'll get into that another video. In fact, I have gotten into it before, but I'll talk about that another day. Right now, I want you to focus on a high ticket, um, one to many business model, because this is not going to be a cookie cutter approach. It's going to be a very customized way of doing things for each of the clients you work with. But the majority of the information you are going to provide them will be a lot of the same repeated information that you can package up into a one to many business model. Okay, so you want to do the things that are simple, right? We're removing the stress out of your life as much as possible. And that starts with simplicity. It starts with the structure, and it starts with the right business model, right? So you don't want to necessarily be following up, client after client after client, because that too, at some point in time, first of all, it's not scalable. Okay. So it's not sustainable to do that unless, I guess it depends really on your lifestyle, because you're going to have to make a decision on what kind of lifestyle you want to live, right? If you're going to live a very simplistic lifestyle and don't mind working with a couple or two or three, few clients a month, and that will bring you in the consistent money that you are striving for. Okay. But after a while, you're going to keep having to follow up with these clients and bringing more of the same number of clients into your program. It's a lot more work to do it that way rather than the way that I'm saying right now that we would package you up. Okay. So high ticket, one to many business model is what we need to do, meaning group coaching as opposed to one-on-one. Okay. You can put in a few one-on-ones in there. And in fact, we can later talk about, if you and I get on a call together, I can help you to create another level to your high ticket package. Okay. You can offer a one-on-one exclusively for those same clients that you're doing group coaching calls with. But I digress. We'll get into that later. So anyways, this is what I highly recommend for you to do, because you can earn more because you're going to be charging more, right? Higher prices, but you're going to be working with less clients. And guess what? That means you're working less hours. You're not working as hard, and you can still consistently hit your revenue goals every single month like clockwork. Right? So that is an easy way to replace, by the way, your corporate salary. Even if you're somebody like me, which if you're watching this video, more than likely you are a high income earner, right? A six-figure salary earner. And you don't want to work just with one-on-one clients necessarily, nor do you want to, and we're going to get into this shortly, but work for the masses by selling low ticket, because it's going to require the same, if not more, energy for you to do that than it would just for you to work with a few of your most ideal clients. So you don't have to work as hard, but you get paid more doing less. That's a win-win-win, right? Okay, so be sure, by the way, to download my quick start guide so that you can start learning the 7 simple steps to cut the corporate cord and become the CEO of your brand, your business, and your life. And it doesn't require any more degrees, no more debt, and no more disappointment. Learn how to cut that corporate cord, okay, by getting my PDF downloadable guide. Grab your copy today. Okay. Also, I'm going to invite you to join my hybrid group coaching program. It's called the Legacy Leaders Lab. It's for personalized coaching It's customized to your needs. I give you a whole full breakdown on the sales page, so I'll be sure to put the link up here. I want to help you make a seamless transition and not make the mistakes that so many newbies make, or even if you're a seasoned entrepreneur because you've been actually running your business while, or trying to grow your business, running it, operating it while you're working a very corporate demanding role in your corporate career. I can make it so much easier for you. Okay. So if you, the links for both this program and the PDF guide, my quick start guide, in the description below. But let me go ahead and I'm going to drop that for you right here so that you can have it if you want to, jot this down. Let me find it for you right here. Okay. So I'm going to leave that up for while I talk through these next steps with you, because this is going to be very important for you to get on my calendar as soon as possible. Have a call with me, or go ahead and just join if you know this is the right fit for you. All right. Step number 3, decide on a high ticket niche. Okay. And start with just one offer and then ride that thing till the wheels fall off. Okay. Ride that thing until the wheels fall off. Now, here's the good news. You can take that one signature core offer, sell it, right? But you can take that one core offer and actually create down sells from this one signature core offer at different price points. So you've got your one overarching offer, that's your signature core offer that you sell at high ticket. More than likely, it's going to be a group coaching program because that's what I teach. Okay. And then you can break that down into various price points, different levels of how people can work with you, how you can support them. So you can do one-on-ones, right? Now that can be an upsell or a downsell depending on how you structure it. Okay. You can also create courses, right? You can also create mini workshops. You can also, there's a lot of ways you can go about this and allow this to be somewhat of a passive income for you while that's working for you behind the scenes and doesn't require any face time from you, any more one-on-one time with you and your client. You can be focused doing your highest and best work for the people you get the best results for, those who have invested it at a higher level, and let those other things work for you in the background as a passive income stream. Okay, so that's how that works. But yes, you can create down sells, or you can use those down sells for individuals who are not quite ready for your high ticket program yet. Maybe they are at a place where they, for whatever reason, they can't, I don't want to say can't afford it necessarily, because I believe there's, if you're a resourceful person, you can always find the money somehow, some way. But there may be some very real things going on right now in their lives that just, set them back financially, and it's just not the right time, or they're not ready in other ways, right? That you might need to prepare them for. And maybe, just maybe, you can position your down sell. This is what I would recommend to get them prepared and ready for your higher ticket offer. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I would recommend. So you're going to start from the top and work your way down, okay? Meaning the down sell. Or you can look at it another way. Start high and then go low. All right? Now you may be wondering, well, what are high ticket niches, right? And how do you choose one? How do you know if you did choose one? How do you know if you're in one? Great question, and I'm happy to answer that question for you. So the end results are going to be tangible, meaning that when your clients are done following your formula, your system, your process, your secret sauce to their success, right? Your framework, then they're going to see tangible results. So, for example, health and wellness is a great industry, to be in. And here's the truth. Most of the high ticket niches, I should say, are going to be in these categories: health and wellness, finance, love and relationships, right? Business and career. Okay. Those are the 5. So if you're in any of those, not to say that if you aren't, that you can't make great money, because you can make money doing pretty much anything online. But if you're in one of those 5 niches, those are the things that people value the most. Okay. And here's the thing. You're obviously going to do give them so much value that they're going to get the results, they're going to get the transformation. And the bigger the transformation, the better the testimonial. Okay. So remember that. So think about one big promise you get for your clients. Okay. This allows you to charge more right out the gate, right off the bat, right? And it's going to be based on your education, your level of expertise, your talents, your gifts, your skill set, and what it is you're actually teaching them. What is the value you're bringing to the table? And when I say high ticket, we're talking as low as $2,500, meaning $2,500, right? As much as 20,000 or higher, or anything else in between. I know for some people who's never charged that much, that can sound very scary, but I'm telling you, it is possible. Okay. The offer, though, must be in alignment with what your clients see as valuable. So, again, that goes back to love, confidence, energy, right? The ability to have children, increase libido, bigger profits, right? These are things that your clients see as valuable. So we're not talking about what you see as valuable necessarily for your clients, even though you know the answer to their questions and the solution to their problems. But I'm talking about what do they see as valuable, because that's what they're paying you for, the transformation, right? So target those individuals who also have some level of success already in some aspect of their lives, right? Because versus those who are broke and struggling, I promise you, I'm so serious when I say this. Because those are the individuals who are going to be resourceful. Even if they don't really have the money, they know that they have access to those resources, to those funds. Somewhere they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure out a way, because those individuals are problem oriented, and some of them are even solution oriented. Okay, so they know they have a problem. They even might know part of the solution, but they just are looking for the individual who has the skill set and that level of expertise that can actually get them the transformation that they need. Now, some of them don't know what the solution is, but they know they have a problem and they know they need support. The individuals who are going to be willing to pay you are the individuals who have already had some level of success in this area you're teaching, or some other level in life, right? But they may not know this specific thing, which is what they're struggling with right now. Does that make sense? So you don't want to work with these individuals who are always going to be freebies and discount seekers. Okay. You want to work with those who understand the higher level of investment is what's going to get them the transformation. They understand that. You know why? Because they've invested in themselves before, academically, right? When they went to college to pursue these higher degrees, like my clients, for example, like you went for higher degrees. You already know that you're not going to go get an education for free, not one that's going to change your life, right? And change your trajectory. So you're going to be willing to make the higher investment. You also may be someone who invested in a coach, be it a fitness coach or health and wellness coach or finance coach or consultant, or someone to help you in some aspect of your business or whatever, right? So you already know, and your clients are going to also know. So those are the individuals you want to work with, because you want to repel those individuals that you have to spend time convincing and converting. Those are not your clients. Those are not the right fit for you. They're not the right or perfect fit clients, as I call them, for you. You don't want to be sitting up there like going through all of this and they're still like, using all of these excuses. Well, I got to talk to my spouse. Well, I'm not sure. Well, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to get the money? And what is that going to buy me? And are you going to do it with me? And how, you don't want complainers and, people who are just not, that are just going to give you a hard time. Right? You don't want those individuals that you're like, oh my God, hurry up and buy. You know what I mean? You want this or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So you want somebody who has a high commitment level, a high readiness level. They're committed to their transformation. You understand? So you don't want these other people who are going to be energy drainers, right? They are going to suck the life out of you. I'm serious. They're like vampire. What do you call those? I'm going to say vampires because they're like people who they just suck the life and the energy out of you. They're just exhausting. They complain a lot. They want to charge back what they paid for, right? They don't have a high commitment level. They don't have a high readiness level. They're not committed to their transformation. It sounded good at the time. They thought it was what they wanted, but they didn't really think it through. Okay. And you will want to be like, oh my God, I just want to give this person their money back because here they are having the nerve to ask me for the little measly amount they paid me for. And this little dollar amount they paid me for was worth so much more of what I'm giving them. And they're the main ones who's just giving me the hardest time. All money ain't good money. You will want to give them their money back, seriously. So your message is going to need to reflect and speak to the individuals who you want to attract. It also needs to speak to your message, needs to speak to who you want to repel intentionally. Okay. So those are the people you want to get the best results for, and the people you do the best work with are those individuals that I'm talking about, the ones you want to attract. Okay. They're going to be willing to roll up their sleeves, get in the trenches and do the work. They know it's hard. They know it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So they understand that. But the reality is everybody is not for you, and you are not for everybody. Be okay with that. That's a good thing. Okay. That's a good thing. So, and as far as messaging, I'm not going to go deep into messaging, but as far as some examples, like I used to always say, speak to, those who are brainwashed, broken, right? Brainwashed, broke, and broken. And the hustle is hard. And aren't you tired? And aren't you exhausted? Like that was always my old message. Guess what that did? That brought in more people who were broke, real broke, broken, so broken. I was like, oh my God, you need a therapist. You know what I mean? I can't help you. Or I can only take this so far, like they wanted so much more than I could offer and have the capacity to give. And I don't work I work within my scope of practice. I don't work outside of it. And even though I am a nurse, I am not your nurse. So I always have to do this disclaimer, right? Yeah, these individuals, they wanted so much more than what I was. This is not what I signed up for. So, and they were brainwashed, but in ways that I wasn't prepared to deal with, right? Like in a lot of ways. And so I spent a lot of time with those individuals, convincing them, trying to convert them and telling them how great they are and they need this and why that. I ain't got time for that. They have to come to me already knowing that. They have to come to me already being ready, like you. Okay. So that was my old message. Now, that's not to say I don't use some of that language, but it's the way I'm using it now compared to how I was before. Now, the new message is more like I started off with this video, right? Are you a high achieving woman entrepreneur and you're over 40 but you're successful, but you're feeling squeezed between success and satisfaction, right? You need a place to breathe, a place to exhale, somebody who can support you. You are a solid decision maker. You're a fast action taker. You are committed to your transformation. You are ready to change the trajectory of your life. That is a very different message. You feel what I'm saying? You can hear the difference, right? So that's going to attract the kind of people that I am wanting to work with. It's also going to repel those who know they don't fit into that description. You follow me? Make sense? Got it? Get it? Good. Okay. The fourth step, we're almost there. Once you have the attention now of the ideal clients you want to work with, your ideal clients, your champagne clients, your avatar, invite them to a discovery call session, right? So that you have an opportunity to see if they're a good fit. Like this is your opportunity to get better acquainted, to get to know them better, to share more about your program or your package or your service or your product, whatever it is you're selling, the solution. You're always selling the solution. And so that is what you're inviting them to do, to have a conversation. It won't feel salesy at all. It should feel like you're just having a virtual coffee conversation with somebody, right? That you're just hanging out with them and you're just talking and getting to know them better. And really making sure they are a perfect fit client for what it is you're offering. Can you really help this individual? Can you get them the results? So that's what you want to do. It's just about what you're bringing to the table and what value you can actually offer. Okay, can you confidently charge what your program is valued at based on the results you get for them? Not that it's a guarantee, because it depends on their work ethic and what they're bringing to the table as well, right? But you do want to know that this is the type of client that you can get good results for if they're willing to do the work. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's the fourth step. You want to invite them to a discovery call. All right. And so I just need you to know there are so many, countless women, okay, seriously, countless women who have successfully transitioned from corporate to entrepreneurship seamlessly, myself included, the clients I work with included, okay? If you follow these steps, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And I got it. Don't go nowhere just yet, okay? I'm not done. I just need to inject this right here. I need you to know you can do it too. I am not anybody extraordinarily special. Well, I am kind of, but you know what I'm saying. Seriously, I am not someone who differs from you as far as being a human being with all the flaws, right? I'm not perfect. I just happen to be steps ahead of you and can help you get where I am because I've done the work, because I also hired help. I have the right support system. Do you understand? And that's what got me there faster. So, step number 5 is to hire a business coach. Hire someone who can help you through this process so it doesn't feel like a heavy lift for you. And why should you have to position yourself? You're already doing all the hard work now, right? You're already stressed out now. Again, this is about ease and doing things that feels pretty effortless, right? Ease and grace. No stress, no hustle, not hard work unnecessarily, right? We don't have to burn the stick. We don't have to burn. I mean, I'm always messing up cliches and old adages, but we don't have to burn the midnight oil or burn the candle at both ends of the stick. That's what I was trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to do that because it's an easier way. And so you want to always hire somebody who can actually help you get there, especially if you don't have an offer right now, if you're afraid of sales, that's the other thing, or if you're not sure what a profitable niche is or how, or now you should know because of the video, right? But maybe you still don't know how to choose one specifically for yourself. So it's always smart to have somebody in your corner who they're light years ahead of you, they're steps ahead of you, they're milestones ahead of you, right? They know more than you do. They've gotten results and they can do it for you as well. Okay. So that you can close more deals and you can get more clients and keep the cash flowing and keep the business open, right? And the main point of this video is leave your job and make money online sooner rather than later. Okay, so you can book a complimentary business breakthrough discovery call with me. I'm going to put that up here for you. If you need the additional support, the links are also in the description below. Okay, and if you've gotten value at all, which I know you did, that's why you're still here. Okay, any part of this video, if you've gotten value from today's video, be sure to show some love, right? Help my channel out, let YouTube algorithm push more of my content out there to the people who really need to hear my message and who needs this information. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate you. The more people who know about me, the more people I can help and I can make a bigger impact. Okay, so share, like, comment, and subscribe, and share and save this video. Let me go ahead and drop this link for you right here just so you see it as well. Okay, complimentary business breakthrough discovery call is what I'm offering you. All right, that is my time. All right, I'm going to tune out while you tune in, as always. And until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.